seem to have misplaced the plot of my life. I think I left it in my other pants, the ones I wore to that job interview where I confidently explained that my greatest weakness is my overwhelming strength. The interviewer looked at me like I was a glitch in the simulation, which is fair, because lately I feel like one. Do you remember when life had a plot? There was a clear narrative arc. You went to school, you got a job, you found a partner, you bought a small, overpriced box to live in, and then you waited for the sweet release of the credits rolling. Now, the plot is gone. It has been replaced by a series of increasingly absurd side quests. Yesterday, my main objective was to figure out why my smart refrigerator is giving me passive-aggressive notifications about my questionable life choices. It suggested I buy more kale. I suggested it mind its own business. We are not on speaking terms. I spent 3 hours last week trying to assemble a bookshelf that came with instructions, written in what I can only describe as ancient, alien hieroglyphics. The final product looked less like a bookshelf and more like a modern art sculpture titled Despair in Particle Board. It collapsed under the weight of a single paperback. The book was about finding inner peace. The irony was so thick you could cut it with a minimalist Scandinavian butter knife, which I also bought online after watching a 30-second video that promised it would change my life. It did not. It just fails to spread butter evenly, which feels like a metaphor for something profound that I am too tired to figure out. My phone sends me memories from 5 years ago. Look at you, it says. So full of hope, so blissfully unaware that your future involves arguing with a kitchen appliance about leafy greens. Thanks, phone. That is super helpful. It is like the universe is just throwing random plot points at us now to see what sticks. One day you are learning to bake sourdough bread because the internet told you to. And the next, you're researching whether it is possible to legally declare your cat as a dependent for tax purposes. The answer is no, by the way. I checked extensively. I tried to get back on track. I bought a planner, a very expensive one, with a leather cover and pages that smelled of optimism and deforestation. I wrote down my goals. Number 1, find the plot. Number 2, stop having existential crises. Before my morning coffee. Number 3, learn to juggle. I figured if I could keep 3 balls in the air, maybe I could handle the chaos of existence. I dropped all 3 balls on my foot. The planner now sits on my wobbly despair sculpture, judging me. My dreams have become as surreal as my waking life. Last night, I dreamt I was a contestant on a game show where the grand prize was a lifetime supply of serotonin. The host was a talking squirrel who kept asking me trivia questions about the migratory patterns of coconuts. I woke up before I could answer the final question, which I am pretty sure is why I feel so empty inside. I miss the days when the biggest twist in my life was finding out my favorite television show character had an evil twin. Now, I feel like I am the evil twin, and the good twin is off somewhere living my actual life, probably with a functioning bookshelf and a respectful refrigerator. I went to a coffee shop and the barista asked for my name. I told him, and he wrote, Brian, on the cup. My name is not Brian. I do not even look like a Brian. But for a moment, I considered it. Maybe being Brian was the answer. Maybe Brian had his life together. Maybe Brian understood the instructions. Maybe Brian's cat was a legitimate tax deduction. But then they called out Brian and some other guy, who actually looked like a Brian, went to get the coffee, and my brief hope of escaping into a new identity was shattered. I am stuck in this plotless mess, this narrative void, this cosmic joke where the punchline is just an infinite loop of software updates for devices that were supposed to make my life simpler. I tried meditation. I sat on the floor, closed my eyes, and tried to empty my mind. Instead, my mind decided it was the perfect time to play a highlight reel of every embarrassing thing I have ever done, complete with director's commentary. From my own inner critic who sounds suspiciously like that talking squirrel from my dream, it is not just me, right? Everyone else is just pretending. We are all just walking around, nodding and smiling, acting like we know what is happening. But on the inside, we are all just screaming into a pillow made of unread emails and forgotten passwords. Remember when the future was supposed to be flying cars and jetpacks? Instead, we've got targeted ads that know our deepest fears and a constant low-grade anxiety that feels like a dial tone for the apocalypse. I saw a pigeon on the street today just staring at a discarded piece of pizza crust. It did not move for 10 minutes, just stared. And I thought, I get it, man, I really do. You see this thing you want, this greasy slice of purpose, but you are paralyzed by the sheer absurdity of it all. Or maybe it was just a dumb bird. What do we can know? I cannot even assemble a bookshelf. I tried talking to my therapist about it, I said. I think I have lost the plot. He nodded sagely and said, the plot is a construct. True fulfillment lies in embracing the journey. I told him my journey currently involves a feud with my fridge and a bookshelf that doubles as a safety hazard. He charged me $200 to tell me to enjoy the ride. So here I am, riding this roller coaster in the dark, with no seatbelt, and the safety bar is just a suggestion. The plot is gone, life has lost the script, and we are all just improvising badly. We are in the third act of a movie written by a broken algorithm, and the ending is probably just a pop-up ad for a mindfulness app. Maybe that is the real plot. There is no plot. The chaos is the point. The cosmic joke is that we were ever looking for a story in the first place. It is a liberating thought, in a terrifying sort of way. It means I do not have to find the plot. I can just sit here with my wobbly bookshelf and my judgmental refrigerator and wait for the next bizarre side quest to pop up. Maybe tomorrow I will have to teach a flock of seagulls the national anthem. Maybe I will discover that my socks have been sentient all along and are planning a quiet revolution. Who knows? The possibilities are endless and utterly meaningless. And in a weird way, that is kind of funny. It is like we have all been handed a copy of a book, but all the pages are blank, and we have a pen that is running out of ink. So what do? You just start drawing weird little doodles in the margins and hope someone else thinks they are art. My name is still not Brian, and my cat is still not a tax deduction, and I still do not have a clue what I am doing. But at least I am not alone in this plotless void. We are all in it together, which is either comforting or the start of a very strange support group. Welcome to life. The plot is missing. Press submit dead. Enjoy the intermission. It seems to be permanent. Share, like, and subscribe.